for what they're doing.
Well, and to the mayor and to others in the, in the theater district who I mean, I'm here to tell you that the theater district in Boston is alive.
Yes.
It's vigorous. There's a variety of work that you can see, from the wonderful work that's brought in by Broadway across America to my new program, Arts Emerson, The World on Stage, to the comedy and variety shows that are going into the Wilbur. And the students who now live in that area, there are 2,300 Emerson students who live in the area, is completely transformed. The Paramount Center has a common wall with the Opera House, which was renovated a number of years ago, not too long ago, actually, probably
we were right there.
About 10 years ago, on one side, and the Ritz Condominium Tower on the other side. Yeah. So this used to be called, affectionately, the Combat Zone.
That's right.
It's not.
That's right.
It was
not
it
anymore.
Was Red Lodge. Now it's completely changed. Wonderful restaurants. Parking is as easy as can be, and there are a lot of choices. So for those people who venture into Boston only a few times a year, come down, take a look, and experience the pleasures of the new theater district. It's
something
really
I want to ask you, Rob. I want to ask you this at the Paramount reception. The Colonial Theater.
Right.
Emerson owns it.
Emerson owns the Colonial, that's correct.
Does Arts Emerson have any plans to use that?
No, I don't. I have 4 theaters, and I don't need a 5th.
You don't need a 5th, okay.
And the Colonial has been the incredible space over the years, home to many of preeminent Broadway tryouts in the days when Boston was a tryout house. And it's a remarkable, extraordinary theater. And I think the college is trying to figure out what the next step in its life is going to be. But I know they're determined to make sure that it continues as a live
I hope so.
Facility.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
What was the first
and I would love to occasionally do something in there if it was right, but it's not something that I can handle.
What was the first show presented there?
The first show
1900
in the Colonial. I don't know.
Quiet.
Okay.
I don't know, but I bet you know.
He knows.
Ben-Hur, you're kidding.
And they had rollers on the stage for the horses.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that sort of gives you a sense of the scale of work that goes on a stage like that.
Yes.
And that scale is very expensive, and the economics of theater have shifted so significantly.
Yeah.
But it's about 1,800 seats, maybe 1,700 seats. It's still a pretty intimate space.
It is.
Can you imagine doing a show in Boston or any large city in the days before electric lights, when you had gas, you had candles and chandeliers and all, the odor that must have been in those theaters of all that, I mean, it must have been horrendous.
Right. Yeah, good point. I mean, I did not experience that, but it's hard for me to imagine it. But I'm sure it was quite special.
Even movie theaters way back in the 20s closed during the summer because of the heat.
Right, they weren't air conditioned.
Yeah, there was no air conditioning in those days.
The Majestic Theater, the Cutler Majestic Theater, that was built, as I said earlier, in 1903, happened to coincide with an advance in the durability of the light bulb. So as a result, next time you go into the Majestic Theater, look up and you'll see so many light bulbs.
Yes.
I mean, they took full advantage of this new technology. It's like a constellation up there. But we're trying to say to the community, come to this wonderful revived district, experience work coming from and going to Broadway that's always been a part of it, and take advantage of the work from around the world that Arts Emerson is bringing here. And we do it with very reasonable. We ask for, you can become a member of Arts Emerson. It costs $60 for a year. And for that $60, you instantly get a free ticket. So it essentially pays for itself. And then you get various discounts and opportunities to see the artists behind the scenes, to get first crack on tickets before they go on sale to the general public, and have the ability to watch an artist or an institution and its work grow over the course of multiple years. So we're not just bringing in the Abbey Theater for a weekend in March, as an example. I have a commitment to the Abbey Theater over multiple years. So we'll be bringing in probably a Juno and a Paycock in a couple of years, another new play perhaps. So the Abbey will have a kind of regular presence in the community. And that's the case with some of the other companies that I'm working with too. The larger companies, we call them legends, like the Abbey, that have made history in their cultures, like Peter Brook from Paris, like Robert Lepage from Montreal. And then smaller ensemble groups, which we're calling pioneers, usually, not surprisingly, populated with younger artists, ensembles, artists that are questioning the boundaries of the form, that are exploring and experimenting in interesting ways, and we do that work generally in our smaller spaces.
But all of this costs money.
Pardon me?
All of this costs money.
It all costs money.
Yes.
That's true.
Bringing somebody in from Paris and Montreal and all that.
It all costs money.
So
and our ticket prices are very reasonable. They start at $25. Our average cost
is good.
Average ticket price is like $45. So we have the good people from the community who value these cultural opportunities. Like any cultural institution, ticket sales are an important part of covering those costs. Maybe half, and then the other half just comes from contributions from people in the community who have the means and who have the interest in making this a rich and really culturally vital
I
city.
thought Boston was a theater city back in my day, but wow, you guys have done splendid.
Well, you know, it's. I think the Boston theater scene as well, beyond what's just the theater districts that I'm talking about. There's so many wonderful smaller companies.
Yes.
That have their own kind of aesthetic niche. There's not only the larger groups such as the ART, where I worked for 30 years, or the Huntington Theater, which is a distinguished company, and now Arts Emerson, but also Speakeasy Stage, the Lyric Stage.
They do marvelous
They're
things.
just wonderful, and come into the city and enjoy the pleasures.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We got to have him on more often.
Right.
To bring us up to date on what he's doing. Yeah.
That's a deal.
Well, we're doing 18 projects, so it's...
Now, some of these projects are just weekend presentations.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
most of them are a week, sometimes 2 weeks. But for the most part, the average number of performances is 6 or 7 performances. But because we're new, we'll grow, and then eventually we'll do more performances, maybe 10 or 12, as the audience grows. So that it's true that it sort of comes and goes in a flash, which is why if somebody becomes a member, they get reminded about when projects are coming up, and they can purchase it in advance, put it on their calendar, make sure that they don't miss out.
How do you do that? How do you notify them? By computer or what?
Well, we send them emails.
Correct.
Okay.
That's great.
We do. We send them emails.
That's why the post office is closing down.
And emails are passé. Emails is almost an ancient form of communication.
No, it's marvelous.
So it's now all other stuff too. But we send email reminders. I mean, if you were to purchase a ticket, I'll give you an example. For a project 2 weeks from now, you'd get an email from us a couple of days before you attend saying, we're looking forward to seeing you. And by the way, here's some links that you can go to if you want to learn more about it. And then after you see it, you'll get an email from us later in the evening or early next morning saying, how'd you like it? Do you have any questions? So this is a wonderful way, this new way of communicating in our world.
You're taking advantage of it.
Of taking advantage of it. And creating a more intimate relationship between artists and audiences.
Yeah, and it is intimate, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's distant, but there's an exchange, which you rarely have. Yeah. And so we enjoy having those tools at our disposal.
Boy, I wouldn't want your job filling 4 theaters, I'll tell you.
Well, I don't fill them, 7 days a week, 52 weeks of the year. I mean, we're...
Yeah, but even
not yet.
Not yet. But we're excited. We had a very good first season. We did what we had projected we were going to do. We did a wonderful production of The Merchant of Venice with F. Murray Abraham.
Everybody's talking about that. Still talking about that.
Yeah, it was really a spectacular work. So we're...
And you had him in, was he in for more than a week?
He was in for 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
yeah. He was in for 2 weeks. I felt that we could sustain that.
And you did.
And we did. We were lucky.
Amazing.
There's one film that he made that he doesn't like mentioned. And I was told about that before I interviewed him one time.
Really?
And that's The Ritz.
Was he in The Ritz?
About a gay bathhouse.
Oh, right.
He was in the movie.
That's a movie. That began as a play called The Tubbs that I premiered in the early 70s.
I loved the show.
At the Yale Repertory Theater.
Yeah, but and
then it moved to New York, and it was called The Ritz. and Rita Moreno starred in it, and he was in it as well. I'd forgotten.
Yeah, I'd forgotten he was in that.
It was very funny.
Oh, she was wonderful.
Yeah, she was great.
I met her several times, and always commented on Googie Gomez.
Googie Gomez, right. And she had, you'll be interested, she has a new autobiographical piece that's opening later this month in California that I hope to bring here the following season.
Oh, I love it, yeah.
We'll have to look for that.
It's just Rita Moreno on stage talking about Googie Gomez, talking about her experiences in West Side Story. I mean, it's pretty.
She's currently on television now in that new Fran Drescher show, Divorced. She plays Fran Drescher's mother. I didn't recognize her at first because her hair is gray and it's the way it was made.
Well, and a lot of there's a generation of people that remember her from Sesame Street.
Oh yeah. She goes way back.
Yeah, she goes way back.
Yeah.
What a great
amazing
energy and spirit.
And she was also on the electric company.
That was it, the electric company.
Yeah,
okay, it wasn't.
Yeah,
my kids were
with the Black Museum, black actor that I like so much. I can't think of his name. Driving Miss Daisy.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan
he
Freeman.
was at the same time with her on that show.
Right. And Driving Miss Daisy was written by Alfred Urey, who's doing a musical with Martha Clark called Angel Reapers that we're doing in November.
What's the name of this album play you're doing?
It's called Angel Reapers. It's about the Shakers. It's about the Shakers.
Okay. So I had said once in a review that Driving Miss Daisy was the most perfect piece of theater I have ever seen. Really, it was tremendous.
No,
with Julie Harris.
He's a very talented man. And incredible scope.
Yeah.
But he won an Academy Award for that. He won a Pulitzer Prize for that. He won a Tony Award for that. It's special. Others have recognized its power as have you.
Yes, but you liked Ragtime and I didn't.
That's true.
And we talked about it. We don't.
Yeah.
You know who Joyce Cahaywith is?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She was sitting right there one time, and I said, "Where do you draw the line between the people who give you the free tickets and what you really think of a show?" Because she's not used to being interviewed. So she came up with a smart answer.
Did she?
Yeah, she really did. Yeah.
Well, she's a smart lady.
She really is. Yeah. She's still
very dedicated.
Well,
I was told, I want you to know this. I was told by management here to wear a shirt and tie today because you were a classy guy. So I usually don't appear like this.
We usually come in not sweatshirts, but
pullover shirts.
Pullover shirts, casual.
With the name of the
we thought because it's Arch Emerson, it's distinguished.
I know Labor Day was not too long ago, but it's still summer as far as I'm concerned.
I'm with you on that.
So, when I actually just start wearing ties, it's just warmer.
I never wear a tie. I did last night.
I forgot how to tie it. This is Matthews.
Well, you did a very good job.
Yes. So I was told, wear a shirt and tie, because he's a classy guy. So here I am.
Well, that tells you something about
it. Give us the name of, because we only have 1 minute left, of where we look for you on the computer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can go to our website, which is artsemerson.org.
Yep.
And you can get all the information you could possibly want off that website. Telephone numbers, contacts, profiles of the projects we're doing, videos of the projects we're doing. I even have a little video where I talk about each particular project and what attracted me to it. And all the films that we're doing, as well as the music that we're doing.
Let me ask you this. Are these videos available for us to use?
I'm sure they are, yeah.
If I requested
videos, the point of we want as many people as possible to see them.
I'm an IRNE member.
Yeah.
And when I do reviews, I would like to have that stuff.
We got to go.
We got to go. Time is up.
And what you do, sir, you do very well.
Thank you very much, as do you.
And I love your hair.
It's
Rob
my
Emerson,
hair, too.
Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you.
Well, our guest today has been Rob Emerson, the executive director of the Arts Emerson.
Orchid.
I'm sorry, Rob Orchard.
You do make mistakes,
That's our show for this time. Thank you for watching Preview. My name is Guy Giampapa.
I'm DonLatulippe.
See you next time.
Bye.